This is the Hubble Gets AFL show. My name's Nick Rynne, joined by Xavier Ellis and Ryan Daniels. Gentlemen, how are we?
We're good. We're back.
Slightly delayed. The big question of the week is, who had a bigger case of shitty on the weekend? Was it Sydney or was it Xavier Ellis?
No, it's funny you say that, and that's what I love about the Bloods culture, because it's not what you think it is. It's been proven in the last 4 grand finals.
Yeah.
But they see someone who's vulnerable, and they go, you know what? We're not going to leave this bloke on the outer. We're going to join him. And yes, I did shit myself on Saturday. And guess what they did too? They said, he shit himself. We all must.
Yeah.
So 22 of them did it on the
Everybody
MCG.
pile in.
Your Bloods culture was that you pooed so many times
It
there
was
was blood.
blood.
There was blood in the stool.
This is crass, so apologies to start straight like this. So maybe fast
But
forward.
that is why we delayed.
We did delay because of that. So maybe if you want to fast forward a minute,
Yep.
maybe 90 seconds.
Okay, go. Give us your
90
poop.
seconds.
Give us your poop story.
No. Well, this is what. So Gastro came home, and I swear it was from the Royal Show on
has to
Sunday.
be.
All the kids running around, da. So
Petri dish.
Albie got sick first. I had to deal with that on the Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yep.
Then, obviously, ticking time bomb. Ted was happy. I just sort of jumped into bed with him one night. He said no to a Tim Tam before bed, and I was like,
no.
Anyway, so he started vomiting, all that sort of stuff.
Good parenting, by the way.
But he copped it like
We've all been there.
he copped it like 6 is good. I just had to throw him to the bucket, when he'd go, ugh, and you just launch him onto the bucket, spew. So nothing ever went through the bed, with the 2 or 3 year olds.
that's
They
good.
go to the bed and the sheets and whatever.
That's a whole thing.
Then in the shower, done. And then my time came the next night, and I was a bit gurgly in the guts, not vomity, and I woke up in Ted's bed, and I just shit myself.
Hold on a minute.
No.
Hold on a minute.
No, just wait. It gets worse. So I just felt it going everywhere. So I've done the hurdle over Ted. Don't. This is bad. No. And then I've jumped in the shower. I was wearing shorts, and when Albie was crook, I put a safety net on him, and that means you had to sleep with jocks under his stuff.
Yeah.
So I've had a shower. I'm thinking that's bad because I wasn't farting or anything. It just fell out. And then so 90 seconds is up, so you're now into this. And I was like, geez, okay, the bed's okay.
If you've just tuned in, Dave shat himself.
So the bed's okay. I'm going to go take myself. I'm going to take my talents out to the couch. So I've taken my talents out to the couch.
Out
And
to South
at this stage, I'm thinking there was no warning sign. No warning sign at all. Like, that was staggering how that happened. You won't believe it. And I was fighting it so hard going to sleep because the anxiety was starting. I was peaking.
You did it.
And then I just sort of half opened my eyes and I'd just gone all over the couch.
Oh, not again.
No, twice.
You shut yourself
twice.
Oh, wow.
So, taking full responsibility.
Wow.
I did it. At least I didn't do it in front of 100,000, which some did the next day. But
Oh, my goodness.
no warning sign, nothing. Absolutely
slid out.
nothing. I don't even know how it came out. I was woke and it was there.
You are a disgrace.
No, that's illness,
ill,
mate.
mate.
That's illness.
Ill.
But I tell you what, I also, to counteract, I took the greatest drug on the weekend, and I know a lot of probably did over the grand final weekend.
You weren't
but
alone.
This drug, and I did a bit of research on it. It was
Meth?
for
Was it meth?
yeah,
It
no,
was meth.
trust me, I was touch and go on off switch stuff there at one stage. I was no good. Anyway, Em got this drug, and I was like, I can't really be bothered because you put a sachet into about 150, 200 mils of water, stir it up, looked horrible.
Right.
Anyway, I did a bit of research what the drug was, and it said it absorbs fluid inside your stomach 10 times quicker than your natural body can.
It's like a charcoal thing.
It's similar like that. Anyway, I drank it, and it's almost like when I put it down, I just yelled, last drinks, and the bacteria went, nom, 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 and just
Sucked up.
20 minutes, and it's almost like I've just concreted over my hole and done. 20 minutes.
So you took that on Friday or Saturday?
No, I fought it for 3 days.
Okay.
And I refused to take the drugs.
So when did you take the drug?
I took it on Sunday.
Have you pooped since?
No.
Made it a poop again.
And just for crash, one last crash part.
How many minutes are we in?
Have you ever had to squat over your phone to see whether everything's okay?
No.
Hold on.
Was this a video
Hold on,
or you
hold on.
just had?
What are you looking for? What
Mate,
kind of damage are we talking
Like,
about?
just making sure there wasn't damage. Like, yeah. No, don't. I was so sick, mate.
Making sure you didn't tear.
Well, or like something fell out, or I don't
What,
know.
like your intestines?
Your gizzards? I don't know, mate.
Oh, do you know what this is? This is karma.
Yeah, no,
'Cause you
no, this
started
is
a
the only
rumour
reason why I'm saying
that
it.
I shat myself in Bali, and now you've actually shat yourself
This
twice.
is the only reason why I'm saying is it because I did throw you under the bus for doing it, and I've actually done it. Did I send you the photo?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I knew this was
Saw
coming.
the sheets.
Yeah.
You are disgusting.
I know of the shorts. No,
So-
I kept
Oh,
the
the
shorts. I
shorts.
kept the shorts to the group chat,
So-
and the boys like, no, we don't need it, mate.
Okay, so what ended up going? Obviously, the pants are gone. Whatever you were wearing.
You throw the
that's
shorts out,
gone.
right? Or you just
That's gone.
Oh, no, they're on the line still. I
Oh,
refuse
that's-
to touch them off the line.
That's disgusting.
No, they're still on the line.
You got to
Get
wait
rid
for
of
like three
Oh, no, no,
40-degree days
yeah.
just to bake them.
What about the couch?
The couch, well, the stuff was thrown into the wash and washed.
Yeah, but it's still.
No, it's okay. No, it is okay. But we're
Everyone
getting,
knows
we're
which
getting a new couch.
cushion not to sit on, right?
So this
It's a
sucks.
shit cushion.
Yeah.
But if there's like a Harvey Norman or a Freedom out there,
If you get an endorsement out of this, then we're out of here.
imagine me doing an ad for Freedom. So one day, my name's Xavier Ellis and I shit myself. And from that, I've got this beautiful new couch.
Modular.
I would do that on Instagram.
Oh,
Anyway, so
you-
apologies for that. That was why we're late.
Wow.
That was longer than 90 seconds. That was pretty graphic.
really
And you
tough.
won't believe it, in amongst this, carnage. Like carnage. Fine.
Fine.
Unbelievable.
See, I'm the M of our family.
Yeah,
I,
I wouldn't be the
I
same.
don't get sick.
Touch wood.
I still haven't had COVID. Like, I just don't get sick.
you
Everyone else
haven't
can,
had COVID.
everyone
Does
can
it-
fall around me, and I'm fine.
Yeah, no, I copped it hard. But look at me. I'm back. Got my running gear on today.
Are you going to go for
Go
a
for a
jog,
run.
are you? Don't poop yourself.
Yeah, this is
No, I'm a
prime
I've got
territory.
concrete, mate. And probably internally they're going, this bloke's too hard. It's trying, but it's like, nah, mate. It's like the condom
web.
of the sex scene. I've got the concrete there, mate. Nothing's getting past.
We've all had children here. I don't know if I'm getting into too deeper water here. But the first poop that the mum has after
Oh no, leave that.
baby.
Leave it. We don't.
No,
need
it's
mum.
rock hard.
Oh,
and all
okay.
I'm saying is that's what you're
That's
in
what
for.
oh, yeah.
You thought that was bad when you shat yourself. Wait until this thing tries to come out
Mate,
in a few
I did
days.
Kokoda in a week and didn't go near it.
Mate, you are in all sorts.
Yeah.
Did Kokoda and then just happy as Larry.
You will
out.
have to check your butt after
No,
this
I'll be
one
all
because something's going to tear.
But
Something
anyway,
will tear.
So apologies to everyone. That was a bit out
Speaking
there.
of blood's culture.
But
Far out. Jesus.
yeah, so other than that, everything's been good.
Yeah, good.
Rashies are going well on holidays.
Oh, yeah, no, I've
Oh,
seen
you
a lot
got
of ads.
well, it's a good segue into you got an offer.
Yes, no. We do talk enough nonsense about the Rashi. So there is a little discount I just quickly set up. Hardball gets us, so HBG20. If you put that in, HBG20,
And that's sportsnuts.com.au.
yeah, that'll give you 20% off if you want to get some Christmas shopping done or whatever. That's our cream gone, but it doesn't really worry us. But, anyway, because we
That's
do
your
talk
discount code. HBG20.
for Hardball gets. Hardball
Right.
gets 20.
Okay.
Yeah, so just
Yeah.
for our little listeners
What do
there,
you get?
20% off.
It's pretty good.
Not bad.
I think so.
And tell
Well-
you what, he doesn't need to be offering him at a discount either.
No, he does
There's no
not.
shortage of pings on the phone.
Anyway, mate, it has been going pretty well. But I don't need to say it. If you want to, but anyway, you can have the cream. I don't care. Our loyal, fun listeners, if you want to get some Christmas shopping done or whatever, go your ass. I'll leave it up for about a week or two.
Couple of things I need to bring up
Go.
with you. I know you've been busy shitting yourself, but there's been other stuff going on too. VFTs,
Oh, yes.
they send you some swag, did they?
Last night, did you see?
I've
yeah,
seen a
yeah.
post. I've
Yeah.
seen they've got T-shirts, right? These are like the sort of Mitchell and Ness vibe sort of
Yeah.
things, right? So they've got it looks like a
Vintage sort of
GWS Giants one. There's a bunch of players on there. There's a Toby Green one, Toby looking like a hero. They've got a Xavier Ellis T-shirt. How many of these are they going to sell? One. They just made that up for you.
Yes, of course.
That's not a real thing.
No, it's not.
But you can request them. Like you
Yeah,
request
you can
players and stuff,
request.
can't
You can just request
If
any
you,
player.
if you slide into
Right.
their DMs, and I don't get anything for this,
Yeah.
it's a young bloke having a decent
Apart from
crack.
these three shirts.
And
that
you,
got.
you know the guy.
Do I?
Yes, you do some work with this guy.
Do I?
Yes.
Who is he? Are you allowed to say?
No, I don't know. No, I would keep it out.
Yeah, I'd keep it quiet.
All right, tell me later.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
tell me later.
I reckon if you slide into his DMs and you got a favourite player,
Yeah.
or you've got I don't know. So Toby Green's there, right? That's Ted's favourite player.
Yep.
There's all footy ones of Toby, but you might have a photo of Toby chasing someone around with a crutch through the.
That's the one you want. Yeah.
You know, like he did when he was in
Fly
his
kicking someone in the face.
You can add them on because you can do whatever you want. So I'm sure if you hit that person up on that site, they'll be able to do it.
Right.
They're pretty good.
VFTs.
And
now,
Ted,
just to clarify, you didn't pay for these 3 shirts.
No, not a cent.
No, okay, good. Just to clarify.
I didn't order them either. They just turned up on my doorstep.
No, that's okay. Just honesty is the best policy.
I'm always honest on this.
Now, I just wanted
Always.
to check because is there a concern? You're hosting an event in Bunbury.
Yes.
You've been talking about this for weeks.
No, I haven't.
there has been a lead up to
Simo and
this.
Gov in Bunbury, one night only.
Yeah.
Now, you're still offering tickets, which tells me that it's not sold out just
no,
yet.
so it was Elliot Yo was who it was, but he's had to pull out for.
Yoey's out.
He's had this child.
Okay.
So Gov's only a new in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're just re-advertising. So there's not a concern that
No, I
you
think-
haven't been able to sell the
You're not
tickets.
the draw you once were.
Is that because that was my concern that you're not selling enough, and I was going to see if you needed some help. Maybe I could help you.
Well, don't worry, me, mate. I
could
get paid a
come down.
fortune. Thanks, Nick. No. So it was Yoey, and now it's Gov. So I think, and I think it's a pretty big area. So yeah, with the Gov stuff, I think they offered if people wanted Yo only or whatever. But no, it's going to be a good night. I'm actually going down there to have a whack of golf before the event.
At
Very
Century
nice.
Golf Resort.
Correct.
That's where it's held. Okay. Just keeping tabs.
Thank you.
All right. Good to know. I think that's all I've got. No, I saw this idiot at the grand final.
Oh.
So he,
No, I don't talk about grand finals with this bloke.
he's a disgrace at grand finals, and I was where my seats were directly above Nick, and I looked down, and he's with 5 blokes who I don't know.
Who were they?
Just a couple of contacts and stuff. And then ended up, so Steve Rosich was just behind us. The
Oh,
old,
yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Freo
Where's
Ex-Freo
he
boss,
now?
yeah.
Is he still
He-
VRC or
I
racing?
think he may have just left there.
He has
Yeah,
just
I
left.
don't
He
think
has just
he's
left,
there
actually. That's
anymore.
fact. Yeah.
Did you hold yourself up okay? Because I took a couple of videos. You started to look a little bit sus.
I actually was. It was one of the tamest grand final trips ever. I think the latest to bed was like 11:45.
That's good.
Well,
Boy.
how were you the time you hung out my ass?
That was a 4-ish.
Which day?
It was a couple of hours before I saw you.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, also shat himself twice.
Yeah.
Mate, you were
Wouldn't have been able to tell
disgraced
you.
that day.
Absolute shocker. So your man, Minnie,
Yes.
new coach of the West Coast Eagles.
Which is, I had 2 dogs in that fight.
You did-
Hayden
you-
Skipworth,
yes,
a close friend.
Yes, and you like Minnie McQualter
You know,
as
so
well.
a lot of respect for Minnie.
Do you know I've been watching those handshakes?
Have you shaken his hand yet?
No, I haven't, but I've been watching because he's been meeting
that's
everyone,
right.
right?
Yeah.
They keep sending out the video. He met Don Pike, and then he's met players, and I'm watching these
Strong
handshakes.
handshake.
And I've noticed, yes, he goes in hard.
He
but
must do a lot of wrist risotto. It's a gym
it's
exercise.
I've noticed. I reckon it's the thumb.
Dunno.
I've noticed that he sort of presses in with the thumb as well.
Don't know, but
I'm gonna
it's still,
report back when I meet him.
It is funny though, and it's a silly life lesson. But he is the one who taught me about a firm handshake. When I was 16 on a train ride back from Caulfield Grammar, he was Caulfield, I was Melbourne. Back to Gippsland, he was 2 years above me, and that was. And in fairness, like not to overstate it, when you're in the country or wherever you are, but you're trying to make AFL. Andrew McQualter was about to. He was captain of Vic Country.
Yeah, you're looking
Not
up to
easy,
him.
yeah.
I'm a
he's a
16-year-old.
superhero.
Like, mate, you idolise the bloke.
He's a god.
And when he clamped your hand, I still remember.
See,
it. I
the
was like,
clamp is. I reckon it's
Yeah.
the thumb.
No, it's presence. It's the muscle. You got to have muscles through everywhere. It's
True,
a
probably
full.
it's a combination of multiple things.
It's a full hand of just strength.
Okay.
Imagine if since 18 he'd broken his hand 6 times and we don't know, and he's just throwing out wet fishes now.
Yeah.
Because he's got no hand, and he's just letting everyone down.
The
I
opposite.
reckon-
The first time he meets Harley, the handshake is so impressive that Harley signs on the spot.
It's like
extra 4.
or it's like the Premiership Cup. You know the
yep.
new conspiracy who lets go of the Premiership Cup
first, yeah.
It's like they just don't let go.
Yeah.
And then an hour
Yeah.
later they're at the bench
Still
press still
shaking.
holding.
And it's like a game of handshake chicken. Well, because my theory for a bit there was I knew Skipworth and McQualter were very close. It could have gone either way.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the shake that got him over the line. Maybe it was the handshake.
Well, Don Pike's got his bloody weak arm.
Does he?
Yeah, he's got a dicky shoulder.
Does he?
Still plays golf off scratch. Yeah, he's got a he's got a shoulder.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
certain of it.
Yeah,
if
right.
you'll see him carried. If you've got a shit shoulder, I've got one.
Yeah.
You'll see people. You know, they eventually like carry it a bit and hang it. and
Yeah,
stuff.
okay.
Anyway,
Oh, there we
don't know
go.
why we're going through people's body parts. here. Any other board members, or do you want to know their body parts? Are lame?
enough body parts.
I'm good on
discussion
that.
today.
I'm good on that.
All right. Well, we're gonna kick it off with
Hey, sorry, no, really quickly.
what?
While we're talking about that, and this is not directed at West Coast. So remove West Coast. whenever there is a big decision coming at a football club, now I've never been real big on board members. They serve their role, but I think they try and also see it as a bit of a flex that they're in amongst the boys.
It's pretty
and
cool to
whatnot.
be on a board.
Correct.
Yeah.
Are they predominantly the people who leak information? Significant information? Not, Nick Rynne's going to be out this week, or I'm talking significant Adam Simpson's going to be sacked, or they're going to move on from this fitness coach, or the coach in waiting is this person.
In my
Are they the ones with the loose lips?
No, in my experience,
Broadly.
no.
But that's over here. I think over in Melbourne, potentially, there's a bit of it.
They're actually legally bound to not actually
course
give
they
out
are.
information. So
Of course
anything
they are.
that's discussed in a board meeting is actually, it's illegal for them to leak it. So
Okay.
in my experience, no.
So who are the ones?
Well, lots of different places. Often it's if a player is involved, players talk to other players, they talk to friends, they talk to family, they talk to their player managers, they talk to
Managers
teammates.
are the ones.
Uh,
It's managers.
not all
Don't
of
even
them.
turn me. It's
Nah,
managers.
not all-
100% it is. Managers. That's
Again,
all I
not
need to
all
know.
a bit of that, but it's not all of them. No, it's not.
I would say
Not
with the
all,
managers.
not all managers.
No, not big sexy.
Not all
Big
managers.
sexy.
But I would say with the managers, it's
excluded.
rather than them talking to you about it, you have a story, you go to them and you say, like, is this yay or no? Like, if I report this,
Yeah.
am I going to look like a dickhead?
In my personal experience, it's very rare to get any call or message from anyone
Yes,
saying,
true, yeah.
got a scoop for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that. You kind of have to already know. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of conversations
You
leading
piece it
up
together.
to it. I was close on McQualter. I texted you
No,
on
and I
Sunday
think
night.
a few were.
Yeah, it was around.
It was around at the grand final.
Yeah. Yep. I texted you on Sunday night and you said, go ballsy. And I said, I don't have it 100%.
Yeah.
So I can't yet.
Well, you asked if I'd heard anything from Skip, and I wouldn't never breach his confidence if he told me anyway.
no,
so
you wouldn't.
But as an example,
I just wouldn't get back to you.
yeah,
Just leave me ghosted.
scene. As an example, I don't think we've spoken on the pod about this, so I won't say the team, but I sat down at the cafe in the metro area, and then
just said the first letter
yeah, I
of the
did.
team.
No, I said the area.
Yeah, you just said
didn't say who it is.
It's a two-team town, and you said
Yes.
you're in an area,
Anyway,
and you said
there are a couple of fringe players who sat down next to me and started like bagging one or two individuals very loudly to a very packed cafe. So like that stuff gets out, you know.
Old mate here.
Well, it does when you say it on a
Don't
podcast.
you say it
which
on a
Fremantle
podcast?
players
Which
It was a
Fremantle
Fre-
player was plotting people?
Who were they
It was a
talking
Fremantle
about?
cafe.
That's your own army. What are you doing?
It was a
So
cafe
a bunch
in
of Eagles
Fremantle.
players were hanging out in Fremantle, apparently.
Also
Yeah.
very possible.
Impossible. Never went to Fremantle in my life.
It was
at the
North
Eagles.
Fremantle.
Yeah, right.
Oh, well, that makes all the
That
difference.
makes all the difference.
Oh,
It's a bit closer.
what are we doing?
All right, let's get into this. What are we doing?
So do we do Brisbane and Sydney, or just talk about the grand final generally off the top?
I don't think we need to talk about it. It was a shit grand final.
I liked it.
Well, we're
But
going
that's
to
'cause
talk.
Brisbane were pumping them.
We're going to talk about every team. So why don't you just
Well,
cover it off? All right. Okay. Give me Nick's thoughts on the grand final in 45 seconds. Go.
Loved it from go to woe.
What?
I reckon Tina Arena probably should have done Sorrento Moon rather than Chains
Oh,
as a surprise
I
song.
don't think she shouldn't have been on it.
Also, no one knew. It was kind of
No.
like, who is that? What's going on?
Was I the only person watching? Because when she came out, it was that I Kissed a Girl song.
Yeah.
And she's come out. And they were getting close. And I was
Yes.
like, is
They're
this
gonna
going to be
kiss.
like a Justin Timberlake, Janet Jackson, Britney Spears, Madonna moment where they
Yes.
pash on the grand final day?
Yeah.
And this becomes a viral moment. And then it didn't go that
But no,
way.
'cause it's
But
Tina
there was a
Arena
split
also.
second where I was like, what is happening?
I didn't need Tina Arena out there. I mean, if you're going to pull anyone out, I'm just thinking of Ed Sheeran, who pulled Eminem out in Detroit.
Yeah.
That was
Eminem, Tina Arena.
I just didn't need it. I mean, Katy Perry, and no dissing to Tina,
No, she's an icon.
but she's not Katy Perry.
She's not Katy Perry.
And also, I think it was this young news guy. What's his name? Leo something, 6 News. Anyway, the Gen Z didn't know who she was at all.
Oh,
So
it's-
this lady pops out and it's like, who?
Well,
what's
that was
going on?
something more my. Yeah, I agree with that.
So they've
Anyway.
done it a couple of years in a row now because last year they brought out Delta with
It's a good-
Robbie. Was that last year? Was it the year before? Robbie with
Robbie
Delta.
was the year before.
So
It's a good idea though to have it a local
Can you
act
remember
pop
how
up
close
or a
we got to
cameo
Robbie
song.
down in the
Yeah,
roofs?
yes.
We were nearly dancing on his stage.
two idiots, and he was like paralysed.
His head was as high. His brain was in the clouds. Old Nick.
But no, I actually enjoyed the whole thing. But
Yeah.
mainly because of Brisbane. Like,
So-
I was really getting into it. And then at the end, I just needed Chad Warner to kick a goal at some point for personal reasons. So we kind of rode that high.
Will Ashcroft for the Norm.
Did you?
So did I.
Oh, yeah, well, there we go.
Mate,
wow,
we did
wait.
beautiful.
But a 20-year-old, he's young. Like
That's-
running around.
That was the most impressive
To
part.
have 30 touches as a 20-year-old. I mean, there's not many of us that could do it.
Do you think?
Come on, boys.
He just did one better.
Come on,
they
boys.
got on board his train that day. They just weren't on board the Xavier Ellis Express.
I was, as I said, I was unwell that day, and everything I'd touched turned to shit. Like, I had Goulden to have 25, had 24. I needed one more.
Yeah.
Warner needed one more.
Yeah.
My only get out of jail free. I had McCluggage, who was going wild in the first quarter. He was going to win that Norm Smith if he kept going.
Yeah.
And then Jordan went to him, so that just absolutely destroyed any of Hugh McCluggage's second quarter onwards.
Gone.
And my get out of jail was this tiny little bonus I had on Ashcroft. And I tell you what,
How happy were you? Because it looked like I thought it would be Neil.
He was so happy.
I
He
had-
was so happy he shat himself again.
I had the bucket and one eye on it, and I must admit that spew hurt a lot less.
No, look, it was a fizzer of a game. Brisbane deserving premiers.
Just
Yada,
quickly,
yada,
sorry,
yada.
Ashcroft Dacos right now. If you had one,
Very good.
It's
good
a
debate.
The most impressive part about Ashcroft for me, he wasn't doing the Dacos stuff where he can run and speed and run past and bounce. The timing of Ashcroft's handballs, if you watch it closely, just enough that you think you're going to reach out and put your hand out and you try and get it and you've overcommitted this way and then Nick's gone whooshka that way with the footy or towards goals without pressure.
Underrated skill.
His timing of his handball was exceptional.
Little Diesel Williams, mini Diesel. He's a master of the handball. No, you're right, because he's not. You don't watch him and go far out. He's super quick.
Nah.
he's just smart.
He's clean. Anyway.
Yeah, no,
And
I
that
love
forward-
him.
that midfield
I'd still take
connection is-
Dacos because you've just seen more of it. But
Yeah.
but Ashcroft's going to be really.
Well, that 2 finals from Ashcroft were spectacular.
But you know what? 13. How many weeks? 8 weeks after coming back from a knee?
not bad.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
And then there's another
Well
one of
done.
him coming.
There's another one coming. All right, are you happy now?
Saints are happy about that.
We've cut.
Yeah, but someone said they've got so many. They've got more games than I think third most games out of their next generation academy.
Who?
Yeah, but
Saints.
They've never had a father-son.
Yeah, well,
Ever.
but that's not like
Bailey Rice was one, but he played
Was
11
he?
games.
Oh, was
again. Just scrap either scrap it or like it's just luck of the draw.
Yeah, I don't
isn't
mind
it?
the luck of the draw. Like, I like
Yeah.
seeing.
Father's son is different because everyone's on the same.
I
playing
like
field
seeing
to a
Dacos
degree,
and Collingwood.
Although, as we know right now, Gold Coast and GWS can't have father sons. It's physically impossible. So that
What?
well, they can't because no one has kids that are old enough.
Oh,
Like,
can't have fathers like now.
For the next
I thought you
10
meant like
years.
there was
Yeah.
something in the water.
Go to
around the area.
GWS. Who has
Yeah.
the oldest son? It would be like a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Like maximum. Like who's their oldest players? Like Toby,
Swallow.
Primus.
Emilio, like Swallow plays for Gold Coast, but
Primus.
I thought you were saying Gold Coast.
Primus
Corns?
didn't play enough games.
Yeah,
You
no,
gotta play
but
100.
You got to play 100
Did
games.
they not twist the rules a little bit for those guys?
Nah,
They've twisted every other rule.
One game.
Hey, so has any player ever been through Western Sydney? Driven through, walked through, flown over? Yeah, father,
You're
son.
in.
Gold
Father,
Coast
son.
as well. You went there for schoolies once in 2003? Oh, father, son.
eligible. Well, that
Hey.
might actually be accurate.
I was going to say, yeah.
Anyway, that's enough. We can talk about that.
You happy?
I've got, sorry, last little second.
Okay. We've done 40 minutes before we even talked about the team.
Just okay.
Cam Rayner
no,
hanger in
not
the
Cam
grand
Rayner, not
final
Cam
was
Rayner.
very erect.
We got absolutely smashed. Someone called us nonsense, morons, or something along those lines.
Joel Amadi.
The Sydney forward line, no good. We told you that. And guess
Well,
what? We're right.
She walked that back on the day, didn't
No,
she?
no,
Just
didn't
come back in the
apologise. He
comment
didn't
section.
apologise.
Not
Said you can have
apologies,
them.
but you can have us today.
Yeah, no, I didn't apologise.
The video specifically, the whole point of that was, what is the fear? What does it make you nervous that they can't win it? And it was
Correct.
Amadi and
Correct.
McDonald. The
And
guys, they
McLean.
didn't get a kick.
No.
Like they just did not get a kick.
one
Okay,
got a
move
kick.
on. I had to touch on that.
Okay.
I had to square up 15 all.
He keeps receipts.
He
I
does.
do on that. I do actually.
That's what the kids say.
Keep receipts.
All right, so what we're going to do is going to go through every team, what we think is going to happen in trade week, what might happen, discuss a few of the main points. Adelaide. So the main points here are Isaac Cumming wants to get there. Neil Bullen is going to get there. James Peatling, they're still in that conversation to get him. They missed out on Lukosius. They are the main things happening. Their best pick is pick 4, and then it's 25.
Do you know what I find funny about people, and I was saying to you guys before, so Isaac Cumming, he doesn't have a position.
No.
Yeah, I was going to
Then
say, where's he playing?
they call him swingman and utilities. No, you're not. You just haven't been good enough at your football club to bed down a position.
Oh, but see, I don't mind the utility. What would you have called yourself? I would have called you a utility.
I wasn't good enough to bed down. I'm being serious.
Yeah.
I wasn't good enough to bed down a consistent position, so I bounced around.
So you think utility is actually a negative term?
No, not for good utilities. So a genuine utilities.
A genuine utility.
What's a genuine? Who's the? Go tell me a genuine.
I
utility.
can't think of too many off the top of my head.
Callum Mills? Is he a genuine utility?
Well, he hasn't had a great
Well,
year,
Isaac
but
Heaney.
No, he's
But forward mid.
yeah.
yeah, it could be a little bit like to say all these players who are moving clubs got utility.
Elliot Yeo?
Elliot Yeo could be a
halfback.
Yeah, it could be a utility.
Yeah.
But to say, they're utilities, gee, well, they're important. No, they just have not been good enough to bed down a position at their club.
You kind of want the other club to come out and say we're recruiting him as X, like as a mid. We want him to be a mid.
850,000 for a utility.
It's big numbers, aren't
really?
they?
Do we think that Isaac Cumming and Alex Neil-Bullen move any needle at all?
No.
But I think Peatling helps if Peatling
If
gets
they
out.
get him.
I think the Giants are pretty adamant on
Giants,
keeping
Adelaide, and the Bulldogs. They're the last three,
I
according
reckon
to
the Giants are
Carlton.
going to fight bloody hard on that.
I would say so
Peatling.
too. So let's
He looks
just
very
assume
nice.
they're getting Neil-Bullen and Cumming.
Yeah, I think culture people, I'm sure they're great people.
Yep.
Doesn't move the needle.
But it doesn't move it as...
If they get Harvey Langford, probably would play
Well, they've
finals.
got pick 4, so
He's in the
Harvey
mix.
Langford's going to be
That's
difficult.
right in Harvey
There's
areas.
a South Australian kid, Sid Draper, who everyone's been talking
Hasn't
about.
he bagged Adelaide?
He didn't want to go there, but then the next day he said, I do like Adelaide, so it's all like, we'll see.
I can't
We'll
have
see
kids
what happens.
having comments about footy clubs.
Yeah.
I can't have it.
No. Didn't you? Weren't you
Archie
interviewed by
Perkins
another
went
club
well.
or something like that? And there was a conversation you had with another club that didn't end up eventuating? But that wasn't because you said you're not going there.
Oh, yeah. When I said I'm finishing school, I was year 11.
Yeah.
I was year 11. I was
Yeah.
like,
You wanted to stay back and
I'm
do
going
school.
to finish my high school. And
Yeah.
don't draft me. I don't care. But, yeah, I'm finishing school.
Okay. Brisbane. Okay, so Brisbane, not a lot to talk about in terms of what's coming in.
Well, Dano,
They're going to have another Ashcroft in Levi Ashcroft coming in, who's the best player available, or not available, but only to them. And Sam Marshall, who's one of their
I think
academy kids.
there's about 5 kids at the top
Those
of the
two in
draft who are
particular
as good as each other.
are really good. Matt Owies, they've had a conversation with. So Danaher's the big one, because if you lose
Gonna be hard.
Danaher,
They need to do everything. They're in the clearly in the window.
yeah, they are. They went through it.
They are adding none of this stuff, but they're adding 5 ACL players.
Yeah, 'cause
which
you've
not
got,
all will
True,
play.
Doty.
Kitty Coleman, Duday, McCarthy, McInerney will be back.
I'd forgotten about Kitty Coleman, and then I saw him in the celebration.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that's a lot of good players to come into that team.
So I don't think they just need to keep Joe. And we've been a bit critical of Joe and 2 goals for in the grand final still, but
Can I throw?
I was wrong on Joe.
Yes, same.
Like wrong. Well, I think we can all say we're wrong.
Well,
Well,
it was,
well done
it
to
was
him.
that pass off to Archie when he was running in on the wing and could have had a ping, but then he
No,
sent it to
it
Archie.
was his
You're
whole
like, oh, there
final
you go.
series,
Do you know
slotting those
what?
important goals when he needed to.
I don't think we're wrong on Joe. I think everyone's right on Joe. I think he just came up big.
Yeah.
You know, he
likes finals.
He
He
was
sorts it
massive
out
in
in
the
finals.
prelim. He was really good in last year's grand
Massive
final.
then, yeah.
So I think that's just him. You're going to get some games where it's a disaster.
No, an almighty tip of the hat. They've just got to really throw everything at him
Okay.
and beg for him to stay one
Let
more
me
year.
throw something left field.
Okay.
Let's say Joe is gone. You can't go into the season with just Eric, right? What if you threw something at, you backed your culture in, stuff it, let's get the package.
Oh.
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 I'm not against
Firepower.
Yeah, no, I'm not against
You
it.
back
But
the
I think
culture.
they need more.
Of course they need. Of course they need. But
Well,
who else is there?
let's not sleep on
Tom
Morris
Lynch?
too. Morris is only 19.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the
193.
size that.
He took some nice marks in that grand
No,
final.
I like
floating
him,
in.
but I don't know if he can be your Joe Danaher next year.
But I'd rather, if it's going to bugger your culture, back in the kid who's just
What's
won a
this-
flag at 19.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure there's an 201 centimetre
Can
academy
they win the
forward
flag
somewhere.
without Joe?
Oh, probably.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure about that. I think
Well-
I think he's the most irreplaceable player.
Yeah, so who made the finals this year?
Harris Andrews with him.
Just quickly.
GWS.
Sydney, no forward line.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Look what happened there.
Port Adelaide,
look
no
what happened,
forward
and look
line.
what happened
No,
there.
but Port Adelaide, no forward.
No, we'll be doing the same video next year. Going first player you think
Joel
about
Murray.
with Brisbane, Eric Hipwood.
Yeah, no,
That's why he can't.
but my point is, it's not like 7 other teams have roaring forward lines.
No, they
so
don't.
if 90% of what you're doing is great, maybe you can
But
dodge
clearly
it.
they've also learned you can just clear out the 50 for Callum Archie.
Jeez, wow.
Good fella too. Okay, so Carlton. Dan Houston is the one that they are really, really into.
They've
got pick 11,
shitty, aren't they?
and Port Adelaide have basically said that's a starting
enough.
point.
Yeah.
That's a starting point. And Carlton, like, we don't want to give up pick 11. We like this draft. How about a future first? And Port's going, no, we don't want to do that. We want picks this draft.
I wouldn't
draft.
take a future off Carlton either.
No.
They could be anything next year.
Correct. They could win the flag.
Yeah.
Like, they're one of the teams that could win it. So I would say that's going to be a really long, drawn out process. Dan
Surely
Houston.
they've got player.
Mate, Port could do the Dunkley, like the Bulldogs did the first year, and go, no.
Oh,
you're
you're not. Yeah.
You're playing another year, and then try
that's
again.
right.
Like they actually could do that, and Houston has said publicly, if I have to stay, I have to stay.
But
Fine.
no, didn't he publicly say, like, I'm not going anywhere? And then
No,
the next day, like,
that
was
grew
a-
legs. That
it was
grew
a bit
legs.
of a tough one. The other one that's been brought up is Adam Chera. I don't think he's going anywhere.
So
Jack
if-
Martin's on his way out, and Matt Kennedy, they've said you can look around if you
didn't
like.
they delist him?
I don't think they've delisted
think
Matt
they
Kennedy.
delisted
Do you mean Martin? Martin's been delisted.
No. I thought they delisted
No,
Matt
I
Kennedy.
don't think so. I think he's
Just quickly
on the weed again.
Yeah, just quickly on Houston. Like they do need a little bit of that
Wouldn't he be
cream.
nice?
They've got so many of those mid-range mids. Like if they said to you,
Oh, you're right there.
if they said to you, what can we do with a Chera or someone? Like I wouldn't be
To
completely against trying
just
to
go to straight swap.
Well,
Yeah.
Chera's not doing anything not doing anything, but you've got Cripper who's so dominant, obviously. Sam Walsh had an interrupted year, but an okay year, not a real Sam Walsh year. Tom De Koning's going to be back in there. Like, you've got a lot of pieces in there. George Stewart's still going to be floating around. I'm sure they've got someone else I'm missing off the top of my head.
I still like Chera. I think he's
No, I don't not like him, but you like Houston as well.
You like Houston better than Chera,
I just,
right?
mate, if you're Carlton and you're that close to a flag, give them pick 11. Stop being
I
an
agree with
idiot.
that.
You've got to
I
give
agree
up
with
something
that.
to get something. And if that's what it takes, that's what it takes.
And what I was saying with you in regards to Freo and giving up picks.
Yeah.
give
The,
him
the
away.
kid at Peel Thunder's not helping. So the kid playing
Yeah.
at whoever Carlton's
You're-
resi
if
side
you're there,
is.
you're there.
Correct.
Yeah. Collingwood. So, Collingwood is an interesting spot. They've got Harry Perriman. He's going there. So he's
Swingman.
he's in a utility.
Utility.
Utility. But
Is he a good utility or you're not sure yet? Just
He was good when he had
he's-
mid opportunities, right? But he
I
just
think he's a
wasn't as
defender.
good.
But there's
So
some,
you don't even know what they 850,000.
But the comments yesterday was like, have seen a suggestion he could play in the midfield next year.
So,
That's one of,
this is
that's
exactly
one
what
of
we're
the
talking about.
checkpoints of trade period.
Now,
Yeah.
Josh, are you able to insert a little clip in this break? This is his own teammate Jack Crisp talking about the situation.
I don't know much about him. All I know is he's toured the footy club. Oh, what? Well, have we started today, have we? Oh, well, there you go. Welcome. Welcome, Aaron. I didn't know.
That sums it up pretty well.
Well, I saw it yesterday. I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, very good stuff. So the other ones, the questions I put in there, they've said no to Jake Stringer, so he's out of there. But the fact that they looked into it makes me think that they know that they need some help up forward, right? So they at least had a conversation.
Well, Damick stayed in is
Hasn't
an
had a clean- he
answer.
hasn't had
Hasn't
a
had a
clean
clean
run.
go.
And
My check's
really good.
I'm backing Collingwood in next year. If they're a value on the go, I'll have a little interest.
They
on
never
them.
are though, but we'll have a go. Tom Mitchell, there's some he's there. He's got another year on his deal.
I think they.
Is he in the? He was actually going okay
I
before
think they
he got
need
hurt.
him. I think they need him.
I think they do too. I think they missed him more than people
And it
realise.
allows a bit of Dacos movement. Pendles is if Pendles is not Pendles. Pendles is my age.
I reckon Tom Mitchell was that close to winning that Norm. Like he
They
was
played well.
so good
He
on that
played
day.
well.
Shut down Lockie Neal and was tough
Yeah,
inside.
no, he played well.
He was brilliant. The interesting one with Collingwood is like they're doing two things at once because you've heard Craig McRae saying, I just want to establish players, don't worry about draft picks, blah, blah, blah. And he's been criticised. But you know why they can do that is because they've got McGuan's Mickey McGuan's kid, Tom, coming next year. And
You
he's
can watch him play
kid's a
a
stud.
senior EDFL flag on streamer.
Yeah,
All right.
Thank you,
Keylor.
Nick. So they're going to get the Perryman types to bolster their team.
No, I like
And
that.
then they're going to get the McGuan types without having to
For
have high
free.
picks.
Yeah.
You're doing two things. You're doing what Brisbane does.
Hayden Skipworth, who I know they value extremely highly.
Yes.
He stays, I assume.
Yes. That's great
So
for
I
them.
mean, they're not.
Well, speaking of Craig McRae on Saturday morning, he said that if Skippy doesn't go, he's running his program for summer.
I think
Yeah, so
I think
he's
he does a fifth.
he's doing a lot of it. So he'll be a really good
Craig's
coach.
on a beach somewhere.
He'll be a really good coach. Essendon. Okay, so they haven't got a lot going on. Which I think is not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad
'Cause
thing.
this
Yeah.
time last year it was Gresham,
Just
and
draft,
Goldstein.
just
and
They're
draft.
always linked to
Ben
B
Mackay.
graders.
Draft.
So the discussion will be around Stringer. He's got a contract, but he's clearly looking around. There's some talk that Sam Draper, maybe end of next year, could go back to SA.
So who are they back in?
Nick Bryan is the other one. And then there
Is
was
Goldie staying?
Yeah, he signed another year.
Oh, I'd trade Draper. There you go. I just go, righto,
I would
see ya.
too.
You're off to
Yeah.
Adelaide. Adelaide have got O'Brien. He's 31 or whatever it is.
I would do that.
Give us something. We're going to chips in on this kid.
Pick 25? Would you do it for
Yeah,
pick 25?
I would. 100% I would.
Would you?
Well, mate, let's just quickly go through the last premiership ruckman.
Yeah.
What value of any of them? Darcy Fort just won a damn flag. Reece Stanley. Go through it, mate. Max Gawn's the only one.
Yeah, he is.
The only one on
It
the
goes
list.
Gawn, and then it's back to like Coxie.
Correct.
Yeah,
Like in
yeah.
there are like real solid citizens, great culture people, lovely guys,
Blake.
work their ass off, do
Play your
everything
role.
right. Max Bailey, like a ripper person, had bad luck with his knees and stuff.
Yep.
The value on ruckman, in my opinion, is very little at success level.
Yeah, I tend to, unless you've got an all-timer like Gawn and Cox.
Correct.
There's a, yeah,
Mm.
I tend to agree.
I'd bite the bullet and get a bit active.
Finn McGuinness, they got some interest in Hawthorn. Finn McGuinness. I like Finn. He can run all day.
Yeah.
Pick 8 and 28 is
Wouldn't
the
be
picks that they
leaving.
had.
You'd be leaving the Hawks.
The Zach Merritt thing was legit. I had
Yeah.
Zach Merritt on Saturday morning at a function, and he said, yeah, no, it was definitely a thing, but I was never going to go.
Well, you got to take two.
How many
I'm not-
functions do you do Saturday morning? Well, Craig McRae and
Same one.
Zach.
No, it's
had
a
a-
different
I
one.
did
Yeah,
too.
nice.
Yeah.
The-
Snuck a couple in.
But also, and I'm not going to be if say Fox came to you, and I'm just randomly picking numbers.
Sure.
You're on $1 million here, and then Fox came to you and said, "We'll give you $2 million." As if you wouldn't go to your wife and say,
Hey, Fox won't give me $2
this is
million."
our
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
Oh, you love Channel 7. Yeah, I get that, but what do you think? This could, like, of course you got to
I'm not
present
sure
it.
I'm not sure I'd do this, Zach
I've got to
Merritt,
put
just
my phone,
FYI.
I've got to
Yeah.
put my phone down.
Wow, what's happened? He's
Well,
so
Fox.
he's getting inundated. He's selling so many.
Too many
He's selling so many.
Buzzing the tables.
So many
constantly
rashes.
And I haven't got a vibrator in my pocket, guys.
Which is good because everything's a little bit delicate down there.
Googling away.
Fremantle picks 9, 10, 16 and 27. Shea Bolton, that'll happen. Now, the question will be whether it's pick 9 and 10, which is what Richmond will want.
No.
And Fremantle will say, we'll give you 10 and 16. And then they'll
9
push
and
back and say,
16.
we'll give you 9 and 16. and then Richmond will say, no, we want 9 and 10. And then Freo will say, well, how about we give you 9, 16 and 27 and you give us 30, whatever the hell
Yeah.
they've got.
It's gonna be based around those
It'll
two.
get done.
Yeah.
There's confidence from both sides. I think that it'll get done. It's just a matter of what the specifics look like.
Yeah, the boys last night too, after their fifth place. That speech, that'll go up. Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Shea Bolton
Obama,
and Liam Baker back to back, they finished equal fifth in Richmond's B&F. The speeches are, look, they're not the best.
No.
They're not the best.
Not all
Just have,
timers.
just have 3 or 4 dot points in the pockets, boys, and go.
Yeah.
You're leaving a footy club that you've won 3 flags with, or 2
How-
I would have
flags, or
thought you'd
whatever
be
it
doing a
is.
speech for fifth. That's probably the same.
Yeah,
What is it?
correct.
How many over under on beers for Liam Baker? 9.5. Do you take the
Yeah.
over or under?
I'm taking about that because I don't know
Yeah.
about.
It's a good line.
But also, didn't they say? Wasn't he in the next captain in line?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
so
couldn't
what
string
you
a
were
word together. But I wrote in the group chat something along the lines, yeah, I think it's more of an on-field and a good bloke vibe.
It's that-
I
it's
mean,
that
Hodgie
thing.
wasn't a great talker to start.
No, he's a good player. He's a really good player. So we'll get to
Anyway,
that
sorry.
later. So the other one that's been bandied around a bit is Cozzy Pickett back into play. I haven't heard that.
No.
But the Cozzy Pickett situation's been confusing the whole time.
Well, if Melbourne are getting rid of Cozzy, Clary has to go. We'll get to Melbourne, but they've got to go
clear
chips
out.
out on all of them. But
I don't think they're going to get Jack Martin. I think he's going to go to Geelong. I think. Yes. I don't think it's been ruled out yet, but I reckon if I was betting on it, I'd say Geelong.
yeah, right.
And Tom Emmett's the one who doesn't have a contract yet. I think they are looking at all the things, and maybe the fact that Jack Martin's probably not going to go there might be a good thing for Tom Emmett. I like Tom Emmett. I think he's got
What's he like as a bloke?
really good bloke.
Yeah, you got to keep these people around.
I think he's a great
There's
story.
5 good bloke
Yeah,
contracts
he's
every year.
overcome cancer,
Did
to
he?
play footy. Yeah, he's
Nah,
an
give him-
amazing,
give him
incredible
a
story.
year.
Give him another year.
Having said that, I've just put something on my lip. I've got to do it for a week. My whole lip's going to come off for skin cancer or something. Yeah. I started yesterday. Twice a day.
You're a
That-
hot mess,
that-
aren't you?
Yeah, the
What's going on?
whole lip will go.
Every
It's
orifice has got something.
So what are you going to have instead?
Just a massive big like scabs, and like the whole thing will be just a giant scab until it falls off and I've got a new lip.
Wow, yeah.
Jesus Christ, you are really struggling.
Yeah, no, bad at the moment. It's a fancy drug though. It just kills all living cancerous cells. So anyway, keep going.
Have you got cancer in the lip?
No, I just got a bad lip. Anyway. So we
Right.
tomorrow next week we might not have a camera in here. I don't think.
Yeah.
And I might be hearing a lot.
Big black lip.
Okay. All right, Geelong. Let's get into the Cats. So Bailey Smith is the obvious one that's going to go there. They have Western Bulldogs. What pick do they
Geelong won't have picks,
Geelong
will
has
they?
pick 15, so that's what they're going to start with, and the Bulldogs are going to say that's not enough. This thing will drag on.
The Bulldogs want to get rid of Bailey Smith, though. It's not like they don't want to keep him.
Yeah, but he's worth something.
No, I get that, but it's not like
You don't have a lot of leverage.
They got to
it's
find
not like a
better pick from
surprise. I
someone.
want to trade. See you later.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is upsetting.
Dan Houston, there's more
It's not a
leverage
Dan Houston
there.
moment.
There's more
Yeah.
leverage there. The other one I just mentioned is Jack Martin. You just watch Geelong get his body right, and he'll play every game next year,
Yeah.
and he'll contribute really well. That's
Do
just
an
how they
Ollie
do it.
Henry kick 42 goals out of it that we don't realise.
Yeah, and Clayton Oliver met with Geelong, reportedly, which is significant. Let me ask you this. If you're Geelong and your midfield is Max Holmes, Bailey Smith and Clayton Oliver,
It's pretty good.
feeling pretty good.
Danger
Bailey
making
Smith
a cameo.
hasn't played for 2 years, and Clary's got a
Well, that's how
8-year contract
yeah.
worth $1 million,
But
and he's
potentially
he's
pretty
had-
good.
But 4 years ago, you're not getting those guys. So you have. There's a bit of a discount.
I get that.
Yeah. So
But
this is
with
how
the-
you get them.
Has Nick got another tattoo on his arm?
No,
Is that the same
it's
one?
the same one.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's hard to tell.
Just as shit as the first
so
time I saw it.
small.
they're small, all right. That's the idea.
He's got. Where's the other one?
It's on up here.
Yeah, no, sorry, I've got distracted by the other
Wait till
tattoo
the other
popping
end of
out.
summer. I might just go nuts.
Look, if Melbourne can get Clary off the books by even paying a portion of his contract, that's what you've got to consider. Dave. Like,
Yeah.
if they think they're getting a swag of picks back,
That's not happening.
What's the saying? If nothing changes, nothing changes. It's like if you just roll over and think, oh, it'll be fine. Like there's nothing
Yeah,
changing in Melbourne. Nothing's. He's
So
not
if
going to get better.
if you're Geelong, would you give Melbourne your future first if they pay half the money?
probably.
Yeah.
I'd do that.
Probably.
I'd do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Geelong rarely takes
Watch Clary
first
go on and
rounders.
win the Brownlow. And you know I'm a Clary man.
If you can get him right, if you can get him and Bailey right,
Well, Bailey is a different,
yeah, because that's a knee. Yeah.
but Bailey's a different
Bailey's
type
just a
of
physical.
player
He's got to
to
get it.
Clary.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
100%.
Clary's a different world.
Yeah. What's a level up?
Oh, way level.
Hawthorn. Okay, so Tom Barris, Josh Battle. There's a lot to talk about here.
Battle
They're
St
bloody
Kilda
good picks.
stuff. I don't know if we talk
That
about
was
St Kilda a
weird.
bit, but like just grow up.
Let's grow up.
St
I
Kilda?
don't, you know what? I don't like that they did that. Like, let him go to the BNF. Who gives
I
a
like
shit?
it.
And
I
I don't
like it.
like
I told
the,
him not
I
to
don't-
come.
Well, I don't like the Richmond comments either about. I don't know
Oh,
if you've read
good
into
blokes
them
like
about
Nathan Broad.
and Nathan Broad is a good bloke, but the having to shit on the other guys as they leave, it's like. Just let them leave gracefully, and you do the same. You say thank you for your service. See you later.
Well, Richmond tried to, and the two speeches were woeful.
Yeah, well, no,
I don't know.
Here's
I
your
just,
moment.
just
to
keep,
be honest with
keep
you,
your laundry tidy. You don't need to do that shit.
mate, you're either with us or against us, and the minute you
Really?
make up your mind you're against us, see you later.
That's short-term thinking.
What's Josh Battle going to do in the long term for the club?
It shows you all. It shows all the other players how you conduct yourself.
yeah.
I'm telling you, you're either with us,
Nah,
or and once you decide you're not with us, you're off, you're out.
it was immature.
Nah,
It was immature.
nah. But you see it in the NFL, as soon as they get cut, mate, their key passes are cut off.
Yeah, but they don't really do BNFs. They don't do the stuff that we do.
Nah,
They don't do the BNFs.
Well, you're
I-
going to tell me 24
old
like
school footy club vibe.
Buddy left Hawthorn, and everyone's like, "Pff, see you on the way. Like,
I
don't
know
let
I'm
the
in
door here,
the,
chap.
I know I'm in the minority when I say my opinion there, but I have zero issues with St Kilda not
Yeah, okay.
celebrating a person who wants to play at Hawthorn next year.
Clearly,
Zero
you're
issues.
excited about Tom Barris and Josh Battle.
No, well, I am. They're obviously great players, but I'd rather the money. Two very similar players. I would rather them go out and attack I think I said a month ago, a fanciful world. Try and crowbar a Christian Petrarca out of Melbourne. Something like that.
Does James Sicily play forward all of next year?
I love him as a backman.
I know.
It's
but
just
you've
creates
got those two
composure.
guys, and if Frost
Yeah, but
stays,
those two guys aren't James Sicily.
no, they're not. But then you've got.
It's like
you've
James
got
Sicily's a level
You
up on
need
them.
another forward to cause havoc, unless Mitch Lewis can come back and be.
I've been watching Mitch Lewis's social media closely. He's
And?
doing
He's putting out the videos?
knee
Run-throughs?
extensions. Nah,
Okay.
just little bits and pieces. Good luck to him because I certainly think he's.
You
a
know
good forward.
they've stepped it up when they do the rope things. You
Yeah.
know when they
Yeah,
do, what
yeah,
are
I
they
know
called?
the
You know
battle
when
ropes.
They throw the ropes like.
Yeah, but that's not a knee injury.
No, but it's like
But it
that's the
shows you
off-season
I'm getting
workout
it.
video.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like that's the Ben Simmons vibe.
yeah,
You know, you
Ben
start doing-
Simmons has done more preseason videos than shot baskets in the last 5 years.
Okay, Melbourne.
He's doing it again as we speak.
I know he's doing it's that time of year. Ben Simmons is at his peak. So Clayton Oliver, there's that from Melbourne.
There's a lot of Melbourne.
There's not a lot. Tom
Not
Campbell, they're
confirmed,
rumoured
but-
to be looking at Tom
You
Campbell.
just put him in his backup.
I like that.
Just put him in
I
his
like
backup.
that. And
Wait, who? Wade Dirksen?
Wade Dirksen is coming from GWS.
Do you know,
Durka.
Melbourne are brown bread in my eyes in terms of flags, but we saw just the weekend gone. If you lose your number one ruckman, you can cover it with a reasonable backup.
Yeah.
Except in
absolutely.
Melbourne where they didn't
Unless
want to
you-
give the guy a game.
Yeah.
But he's not reasonable backup.
Yeah,
And unless you're Melbourne, because I think if Gawn goes down,
Yeah,
that's,
no, but
they
on
are
grand final,
toast.
but on grand final day, if Gawn goes down the week before,
Yeah.
you need something.
Tom Campbell.
You can't just surrender.
No, you put Tom Campbell in and you go.
You
just,
hope for the
mate,
best.
Give us a draw.
Yeah.
Give us a nil or draw in the middle.
Do you know what we were talking about the other day? Actually, Kane Corns says what everyone says in their private WhatsApp chats.
Right.
So when like Clary was whinging about being upset or whatever about,
Undervalued. Being
and
undervalued.
everyone in the group chat's like, just shut the fuck up. You get paid $80,000 a month. Like,
Check your bank balance.
but that's what everyone says. And then Kane just says it on air, just throws it out there, and everyone's like, well, I tend to agree with it, really.
I do agree with that. I do
Like,
agree
but
with that.
he just brings to life what everyone says in their chats.
Yeah, no, I'd totally agree.
Yeah, so Clary, look, if you can get him off the books, I wish him the best. I think he's a star.
It's a
but
fresh start for
it's
everyone,
a change.
isn't
It's
it?
a change, yeah. Change.
Geelong gets a look at him. He gets out of the Melbourne environment, gets to a different area. In Melbourne, get off the contract or at least some of
You're
it.
off Broadway in Geelong.
Yeah, I just can't see. I'd love to see it work out at Melbourne. I just don't know if it can now.
No, and I enjoy seeing fresh start,
Yeah,
and hopefully in 3 years we're talking about, remember that year Clary had? Oh, wasn't that wild?
yeah.
You know, and he's
That
off
was
and
just a
racing.
blip
at
on the
Yeah,
radar.
Yeah.
Just a blip on the radar. Dirksen, we don't know a lot about him. He's a good young forward, WA
Peel.
boy.
Yeah, he was at Peel.
Yeah.
Mid-season draftee.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what he's done in the...
he's worth a throw at the stumps. They don't have
They
a
got
lot
nothing
of
else.
talent
If I was
to
Melbourne, I
forwards.
would have gone hard after Jake Waterman.
Yeah.
That's what
Did he got paid, didn't he?
We'll talk
Was
about
he
that.
getting a mil?
Jake got paid.
Jeez.
Gold
I
Coast.
think he even finds it funny.
Yeah.
Gold Coast Suns. Okay, so John Noble.
They've got pick 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, they've actually
7
got
academy
6,
boys.
12, 20, and 26, but they won't use any of them. 6 will go to Richmond for Rioli.
Yeah.
12.
If Daniel Rioli was in the draft this year, what pick would he go in the draft? He's 28, I think.
Oh, 25-ish.
Not
No,
pick
more.
6, would he?
no,
no.
God, no.
Yeah.
But it's not worth pick 6 to them anyway because they've got Leo
No,
They
Lombard.
don't,
coming.
picks don't mean
They'll
anything.
sell pick 12 as well. Someone will grab that.
Oh, they might
I'd
be able
queuing
to.
up
They
for
might be
that.
able to sell. I don't know if it's a foregone. Jesus, had a stroke.
Okay.
Foregone conclusion that it's 6 for Rioli because I would trade 6
Yeah, I
down and
think
try
it
to get
is.
2 and then
No,
give
I
him
think,
a 9.
I think that's almost done, isn't
That
it?
seems like the most obvious trade.
Yeah, trade it. Who's got 8? Say, just 8 and we'll give you something else. And-
Essendon.
Essendon just need to not trade.
Don't do anything.
Yeah.
They just need to try and get a pick between, what do they got there, 8 and 28?
8 and 28,
They need
yeah.
they need to try and get a 19 in there,
Yeah.
but not by doing anything silly.
Yeah, okay. Well, Gold Coast Noble we like. That's a
That's
handy.
fine. It's like
Dustin Martin.
Yeah, we said
That's
last night,
not hap-
happily retired.
That's
Yeah.
not happening.
happily retired, brother.
Yep. We
Trent
can shut-
Cotchin was very quick on saying 0 on his program.
Yeah.
Talking footy, is that
Talking
Talking
footy.
footy. Yep.
0% chance.
Yeah.
0.
They're very tight, those two,
Yeah.
aren't they?
Yeah. It's pretty comprehensive, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Yeah.
was fun
But
to
still,
talk.
people ran with it.
It's fun. Yeah. Mate, it'll come again.
No one took Trent Cotchin's word for 0%.
Yeah.
There will be another. There'll be another in about a week.
Yeah.
It's back on.
And
Just
Dusty,
nudged him again.
Dusty at the B&F last night was pretty pleased to see your mate there.
Yeah, he's very pleased.
yeah, Tom had to throw the question at him.
I'd be shitting myself for the third time this week.
That's Lukosius out. End of an era.
That's a Clary situation. Obviously, different scenarios.
Yeah.
Look forward to seeing Lukosius in a different
Same,
club, different
yeah.
jumper.
It's time. Like he's still young.
I know they've all been so overpaid at the Gold Coast. So, like sometimes maybe if you pay, what was he paid? You reckon 900 or
Yeah,
something?
900.
High,
Maybe if you paid 450,
It'd be better.
you're a bit. Maybe if you pays half because you got to earn your spot and earn your stripes, and these kids going to the Gold Coast don't earn.
They got the desperation to
900,000.
keep people, so
Yeah.
they're getting paid in year 3.
and then that can't help
yeah.
your motivation.
GWS. Now, there's a world where they lose the following players.
So let's put this in. Will it affect them next year in the finals? Will these players
Yep.
detract from
But I
their
will ask you
side?
2 questions,
Yeah.
individually and collectively.
Yeah.
Because I think they're different
No,
questions.
I'm thinking collectively.
Okay, so here's the list. Perryman, he is going.
Won't affect what
Isaac
they're doing.
Cumming,
Won't
he is
affect
going.
what they're doing.
Nick Haynes will go.
Won't affect what they're doing.
Wade Dirksen will go.
Won't affect what they're doing.
Xavier O'Halloran, it
I
looks
don't
like
mind.
he's going to go.
I don't mind him subbing on and subbing off.
And James Peatling is the one in the mix.
Peatling, I think, will affect what they're doing because I've enjoyed what he's done the back half of the year.
Yeah.
The others are all fine players. But if they're out injured for 4 weeks, would we even know they've done their hamstring
But
round
my
10?
concern, Zave, would be the fact that there's so many of them. Because doesn't that then start to chip
But where'd
away?
Isaac Cummings spend the season? Where'd Perryman spend the season?
They both played.
All year?
Well, there was some injury, I think, for Cumming, but they're in their best team. Both of those guys are in their best team.
Mate, players 18 to 22, I'm thinking.
Mate, someone's got to play instead of all these guys.
Mate, they've got people.
Do they?
They will.
I think we just assume the Giants have
shit.
got this
Have a look
stash
at
of
this.
dudes in the VFL.
I just searched Isaac Cumming. And
Don't. Careful.
Who's
No, but
Isaac?
Careful.
look what came up.
Yeah, no, he's still. Is he doing the
Oh, yeah,
ropes?
battle ropes.
He's on the ropes.
Yeah.
He's on the ropes. Look at him. What a specimen.
Gee, who's that last name?
Yikes.
Yeah, look, I think they've kept the core pieces.
Yeah.
Oh no, they have, but you need the back end. Of the
Isaac
best
Cumming
22.
played. He played 6 games.
Yeah, but he was injured.
Yeah, but I think he played a bit of twos too.
I'm just saying, if you're losing all of them, it starts to hurt.
Let me find who played in
If you just lost one of any of those dudes, I'm okay with it. But if there's 6 of them, that's starting to chip away at the depth.
Perriman played 21. Yeah.
Yeah. Can we talk about Jake Stringer quickly? Do we like that fit? I love it. Do you know why
Well, you
I love
reckon
it?
a bit of Hogan, Stringer.
Well, and because look what they
Toby.
did with Hogan, right? They took this guy who was on the bare bones of his career, like he was pretty much
His
hooked.
interviews grand final week were great.
Unbelievable.
Really enjoyed
So
it.
they take Hogan up there, they turn it around, he wins the Coleman medal, and they go, hey, you know what? Let's do the same with Jake Stringer. Let's figure this out. Let's
but
take him out of Melbourne.
How old's Stringer?
I don't know, 28, 29, I don't know.
How old was Hogan when he went up there?
Younger.
Yeah.
But tell me you don't love the idea of a forward line with Hogan, Stringer, and Cadman. Ooh.
You're forgetting Toby.
Toby's the cream.
So
Toby's the cream. Brent Daniels is the cream.
Yeah.
Like, mate, I'm telling you, that is.
I'm not against it.
Like
I'm not against it.
And if someone's
what you
going to
need
take
to do?
Hogan, Stringer, get him out of there.
You know what you need to do? It needs to be a contract year for him too.
Oh yeah.
Just went back to
yeah.
GWS's last VFL game. Wade Dirksen had 25 touches, 12 marks, and 2 goals too.
That's what got him to Melbourne, I reckon.
Jesus.
That must have been. Was it against?
It's a fair outing.
Was it against
Who he
Melbourne's
played against
VFL
Casey?
side?
Yeah, no, it was Williamstown.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but no, I think there's something there with Dirksen, but it's hard to say. Port Adelaide. Okay, so Dan Houston and Ivan Soldo. They're the ones who look like
cool.
they're going to be doing the exiting. Charlie Dixon's obviously gone.
Did Ivan Soldo do that video when he got traded with his partner?
His partner wasn't going to Adelaide?
They set the
Instagram
camera
influencer.
up and they like cuddled and kissed and did all sorts of funny stuff.
That was it, wasn't it?
I think she's an influencer.
she's an influencer.
I think it was all about moving to Adelaide.
Is there a chance?
They're unmoving.
Well, no, because they want to go back to Victoria. I'll just put this out there. Is it possible that his influencer partner has realised there's not enough places in Adelaide to get influence shots?
I think he
I thought
realised
she
there's
didn't- she never
sweets in
moved.
front of him.
You reckon it's just that?
Yep. He got told he's going to play AFL football. He was behind Nank the whole time at
I
Richmond.
reckon the Adelaide thing's part of it.
I could possibly be, but he just needs to find a club that's on their knees with ruck. Who's on their knees with the ruckman?
Well, he wants to go to St Kilda. They've got Rowan Marshall.
Well, I think Marshall, they see, can play a different role.
Yeah, let's do
Just
that.
separate
Let's do that in
Bruce.
St Kilda because it's very hard with St Kilda. There's not a lot to
Okay.
talk about. Lakosha's coming in. Where do you play him?
I play him as a third forward.
Third forward, or that's where they need help.
We're hoping Marshall's healthy.
Marshall,
Georgiades,
Georgiades.
Lakosha's.
Yep.
Or does he replace Houston as the main ball user of halfback?
No, there's some muck around with him.
I like him on a halfback.
So you're doing the whole utility thing. He's not a utility. He hasn't bedded down any of them.
He is a utility, isn't he?
If he gets it right, he might be.
He's the utility.
But he hasn't done it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I thought he'd look. Oh no, it depends because he'd look better at patches in both.
I like him at halfback. I always liked him. You want him, and you want him attacking.
Does he have?
Can he be Blakey without as much headless chook?
Not quick.
Can
not
he
as
be
quick.
that? Can he be the guy who with a better kick?
He's
Maybe he's not as crazy, but he's a way better kick.
He's a better kick. Yeah, you got to know he hasn't got the tapness, Lukosius,
Yeah.
to just run sideways, backwards,
To
forward.
back himself completely.
Absolute.
Few goose steps.
He's more of a patient player
Yeah.
than Nick. Yeah, I'd like to see Mac there, but
But he's got to be forward for
I
them,
like
doesn't
to,
he?
I like
'Cause
to
they
pick
need
up
forwards.
regardless.
Yeah.
Joe Richards there into a little bit. Riley Garcia they like a little bit.
Riley Garcia, I like.
I've
If I
always
was the
liked-
Dogs, I wouldn't get rid of
I'd
him.
always be having a crack at Riley Garcia.
Coached him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, taught him everything he knew. Okay,
No,
Richmond.
I'm not claiming him. I'll claim Sam Taylor.
So Richmond, Liam Baker, he's picked West Coast. Dan Rioli, Gold Coast. Shea Bolton, it'll be Freo. And then Jack Graham will leave and he'll get some conversation. for
The
them.
conversation yesterday that Richmond should be filthy that these players are leaving.
No.
They have been kissed on
Yeah.
the nozzle that
So-
these players
yeah.
are going, I
Shake
want
their
out.
hands.
So they already
They
have-
couldn't have been, because otherwise they're going to have those hard conversations, which they wouldn't have done. They wouldn't have traded Bolton unless he'd
No.
gone to them. They wouldn't have traded any of them. These players have done them. It's like the girlfriend you wanted to break up with, but didn't have the balls to do it, and then she's gone, we're done. You go, oh,
Yeah,
you beauty.
yeah.
I'm not, even,
Really?
I'm not even the
Oh.
arsehole.
Yeah.
How good's this?
That's so true.
Oh, he just sets them up for whatever comes next.
So let me listen.
With that many picks.
If they do the deals we think they're going to do, they are going to have picks 1, 6, 9, 13, 16, and 21. That's 6 picks within 21.
And that's what West Coast should have been doing the last couple of years.
Now
Well
that'll-
done, well done to them.
Now that'll blow out because
It doesn't matter. It's still good.
there'll
Yeah,
be
but not
6
one
in,
and
there'll be
that, you
6 in the 25.
Yeah.
And then they've also got 29 and whatever they get for Graham. So that's a great haul. You two always talk about the photo.
Yeah.
This is the photo. Unless they stuff it and you're like, man, they had all those picks and they somehow missed all the
Look
good
at those
players.
blokes.
Yeah.
Who are they?
It's
And
going
then
to be...
they've used pick 9 for Tim Kelly.
Bill Simmons taught this great story about the LeBron draft. Remember, it was LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo
Carmelo.
Anthony, Chris
Yeah.
Bosh, and then there was Darko Milicic.
That's right.
And so there's these 5 unbelievable players. And he said, it's like you had a brown paper bag, and in there was like 4 checks for $1 million and 1 for $5.
Yeah.
And all the teams put their hands in, and the Pistons drew out the $5 note.
Yes.
Richmond, it's going to be really hard for them to miss the $1 million players because they've got so many options here.
They'll get one
But they
done.
could easily pull out 6 $5 notes. You've just got to nail this.
It's like
It's a massive moment for them.
I saw a video last night. New York Giants. The GM was sitting with his kids, young kids, and he just threw out before the draft, who should I take with the pick? And the young fella, I reckon he must have been 14, so loved his NFL. Threw out 2 really good names, and they've escaped my mind. And then they go, well, he'll be taken. And he goes, names 3 more. And he goes, well, Dad, you can't stuff it up. You can't stuff it up. It's like this for Richmond. They've got that many picks, they can't possibly stuff it up.
It's that easy. Jesus, a lot of pressure. St Kilda. Okay, so Van Soldo, we'll discuss that. Jack McRae, they've been linked to Dylan
that's
Shield
right.
at times. Obviously, Josh Battle is going. And then there was the Zach Merritt conversation, which I don't think we need to talk more about. So let's start with Soldo. So if he goes there, I think the suggestion is that they would play
both.
Soldo in the ruck mainly, and then they would play Marshall predominantly as a forward.
I'd still be 6. I'd be 60-40 Marshall.
Okay.
Rock.
Yeah. I think put yourself in the opposition coach's box,
Yeah.
and you're sitting there, and you got the binoculars out, and you go, shit, it's Soldo in the ruck, not Marshall. What are you thinking?
But does this go back to you don't need a dominant ruck? So if Soldo just breaks even and Marshall's a dominant
yeah,
forward,
but he won't be dominant forward.
could he kick 40 goals?
He's a ruckman.
Could he kick 40 goals?
I don't think he
If he
can.
plays forward 70%.
Don't think so, because then they're planning for him, and then he's actually getting Harris Andrews
Well, I
and
like
those
the
guys.
idea of what he's doing for Max King.
Oh, Max King's another story.
Who gets the better defender? That's
Well,
a good
it probably
question.
starts
Yeah.
with King,
Well,
but Marshall was going to require more attention than some of the other guys they've had standing next to him.
no, look, Marshall.
that's
Like, if you got
Man.
Roland Marshall down there instead of Caminiti, who's going to get more attention? You know what I mean?
Caminiti.
You're an idiot.
Mitch Owens.
I don't hate it. I don't mind the Saints trying something different.
Yeah.
Because they just keep doing the same thing again. And if he's going there,
Marshall's
they must
so-
be telling him he's going to play because
Correct.
otherwise
No,
he's got the same
I-
problem. He's
I
the
get
next
all
Braden
that.
Pruce.
I get all that, but Marshall certainly wasn't their problem this year.
No, he wasn't. Although he wasn't even top 3 in their BNF.
Was he 4th?
Yeah, that was
5th?
bizarre.
I did see that. Yeah.
I thought that was strange.
I did see that.
What did he do to Ross? Ross likes guys and hates guys, though.
Yeah.
No.
Jack McRae.
Doesn't move the needle.
Yeah, you've been
No,
out on
he's
McRae
fine.
for a while. I
And
like it.
I've been proven right there to start with.
I like it. I'm okay with it. I think it's nice.
No, mate, you've
fine.
got Steele,
Yep.
McRae.
Yep.
Who else is in their midfield?
What's their pick?
Who else is jogging off this from congestion as quick as I can run?
Yeah. What's their pick?
Who else is in there?
They've got, I don't know. I don't know. They've got 7, 24, and then 43.
7. There, you'll get a good young mid with 7.
Imagine if Langer's got in there at 7.
They won't get to
Oh, then
he
they're
won't
playing
get to-
finals.
He's not getting to 7. North Melbourne. Okay, so this morning we learned that Luke Parker officially
Yeah.
has told them he
Great.
wants to go
and what
there.
about the up yours to Sydney? I know that they're going to end on hopefully good terms.
Yep.
But just for kicking 3 in the
Yeah,
last
does
quarter,
anybody
just
else want
being
to help
like,
me here?
just like, hey, I'm actually an inside mid.
I needed Goulden to kick 1 goal, and I was like, can you just
Nah.
relax?
Find
Luke?
him.
No, but he didn't
Can you-
deserve one.
No.
He didn't deserve one.
Geez, none of them did.
Nah.
No one did.
Nah.
Luke Parker, I like that for them.
I like
Good
that for
leadership.
Sydney. I saw it today. Would anyone be adverse to him being appointed captain at North Melbourne straight off the bat?
No.
It happened. There's
Not at all.
switching codes, but yeah, Brisbane Broncos brought Adam Reynolds in,
Yeah.
made him captain straight away.
He definitely belongs in the leadership.
Carlton
group.
did it with Chris Judd.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, true. That's a pretty high bar.
Who's announced? Simpkin and someone, isn't it?
McDonald.
Simpkin and McDonald.
Mate, Luke Parker captain.
I would have thought till Shees is ready, if that's who
But
they want
I
it to
mean,
be.
we're speaking like we don't know those two.
Yeah.
boys,
Yeah, I know,
aren't
but
we?
Sim-
Text Barlow, tell him. Just say,
But
mate,
Simpkin looked like he
Luke
needed
Parker
a
for
little bit
skipper.
off his shoulders.
Yeah, it's funny. But maybe Simpkins the greatest leader of all time
might be,
internally.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
the other one is Jack Darling, who that is happening, and then Caleb Daniel is the one that has.
Carl
some
Daniel, I
interest
don't
there.
mind. I'm surprised. I'm surprised with Jack Darling.
Yeah, look, me too. To be honest, like I'm not sure that's going to work out the way they want it to, but
Do you know what happens? And it happens at every club. It happens in every business. You fall in love with what you find or what has done you good over a period of time. And sometimes, so Brady Rawlings was here at
Oh,
West
yeah.
Coast,
yeah,
Jack was
2018. Put the premiership list together.
he's
did it-
seen the best of Jack. Yeah,
Correct, and but it happens all the time. Clubs are always a year or two too long to get rid of who they love.
yep.
And that's the part of a professional sport over here in Australia that's not a business. Whereas in America, it's a full business where it's like, we are done with you.
Yeah,
Ciao.
you're not contributing at what you're supposed
What
to, so
level?
you're gone.
And maybe I think we just fall in love. And look, I hope Darling goes and takes some pressure off Nick Larkey because I want him to be a good player.
Yeah.
Larkey. And I want North to get up the ladder, but I'm not sure.
Caleb- and we like Caleb?
Just a random one. Darling or Taberner? If you had to choose one.
Well, I'm paying a lot less for Taberner too, so I'm taking Taberner.
But money's not an issue. North could pay me $1 million to not play.
I'm probably Darling.
I think I'm probably done. But like, do you know what I mean?
But it shouldn't be as much of a
it's
discussion.
it's a discussion.
Yeah.
It's a discussion.
Anyway, moving on.
My question is like, why not find the next just Pat Voss? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, the
why-
best in the
take
twos.
take a young guy. I know they're saying they want
Wade
experience. but
Dirksen.
That's what Luke Parker. Exactly.
Go get Wade Dirksen.
honestly,
But
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. Okay, West Coast. Let's unpack West Coast. So Liam Baker wants to go there. That'll get done. Jack Graham, he's keen to get there too. 4-year deal.
Are we sure Richmond's a thing? I mean, they were a thing
Well, it
4
was
years
de-
ago.
It definitely was a thing.
It was a thing.
West Coast have got their list managers from Richmond. They've got
Yeah.
coaches from Richmond.
Their
They got
recruits are all
two
from
players
Richmond.
from Richmond.
I did laugh. Social media is so rife with just knobs. Someone wrote to Liam Baker has opted to West Coast, and someone wrote, "Suck shit, mate. Get used to knowing what it feels like to win a wooden spoon, like a Freo supporter." And I was like,
He just did.
he just did.
Yeah.
He won one at Richmond.
He literally just won one.
just won one.
He knows how it feels.
Anyway, look, yeah.
Again, there's a lot of people upset. The idea that they would give away 13, just given where West Coast is, and we've discussed this many
I
times.
think there's a few questions in the
Guys,
question time.
I've been saying it for a while. Get used to the idea of it
cannot-
happening.
Yeah, no, I know
I
you've been
can't-
saying it, but it doesn't mean it's right.
I know that.
Like, it doesn't mean that.
Still,
I
you
just,
can't,
unless
right?
they get really creative, that's the only way it works. So they have to they'll either have to trade
So
multiple
he's
picks.
contracted at Richmond, is he?
What's that?
He's contracted.
No.
No,
So
but
it's
he's
not,
not a free
it's not the
agent.
only way it works.
Who has the number one pick in the preseason draft?
Don't know, but
Richmond.
There's your
Well,
problem. So just take him
look,
back.
that's bad luck for Richmond.
Just take him back.
They wouldn't do it.
Why not?
They wouldn't do it. They
Why
wouldn't do
not?
it.
I'm just telling you. I'm
Inspirational
telling
speeches.
you. I've seen it. I know how it's going to happen.
So how many picks are they going to have within 30 this year, West Coast?
Well, at the moment they've got.
Same as last year, one.
One.
At the moment they've got 3. They'll get 13 for Barris, but then that's the Baker thing.
Oh.
And then 23. So
so-
they'll have 2, but 23 will become 27 or 28.
They'll have 2
Oh.
picks in the top 30.
Oh, my
I
God.
can't even talk.
Okay.
I can't-
Hey, what'd you think of the Tim Kelly stuff?
oh,
Because I had that.
thought
on
it
the
was
news
soft
last
by you,
night.
but it's been
soft. Why was it soft?
Go harder, mate.
I don't go hard
But
or
isn't
go.
it something that's
I
not
just-
happening,
no,
isn't it?
I just report.
Nick saw him at a cafe in Fremantle.
He's bagging everybody.
I just report
No,
what is
so
there.
I saw his manager came out.
Let's
and,
extend this one because I got to.
His manager did a no. I'm only taking
statement.
shit about the softness.
A statement, yep.
Did a statement saying he's going to be West Coast.
So
today.
basically, what's happened is he's out of contract end of next year. I think there is a keenness to extend that contract from the Kelly camp. I think they're like,
there
hey,
is.
let's get this sorted. Let's stay here a little bit longer. We're enjoying our time. West Coast at this stage haven't come to the party
West
yet.
Coast should not be jumping at anyone at the moment, and then they jumped at
Yeah.
Jake Waterman. I tip my hat to Jake Waterman. I love the guy,
Cashed in.
Yeah.
Ripping guy. But he was contracted,
Yeah.
and he got a contract when he was hurt and hadn't done a lot of footy.
Yeah.
Then has re-signed for 5 years for $5 million.
Be just under 5, but yeah, it's a lot of money.
He's had one breakout season and then just cash. He's moving. Is he moving like this week, next week? He's just upgrading suburbs.
Very good for Jake.
Oh,
One of the best blokes in footy, so I'm very happy
But
for him.
I don't think anyone's unhappy.
No.
But I think if he was in here, if he was secretly sitting in here,
He'd be laughing.
he'd be chuckling at us.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. It is brilliant. So
Wowee.
back on Kelly, which is why we extended in the first place. So there's obviously a desire to extend. Now, what happens when things get to a stalemate, like what's happening in your guts right now?
It's not a stalemate, it's a blockade.
It's a blockade. So then other clubs start going, hey, where's Tim at? He's out of contract. Is he happy there?
Serious question.
And the answer, hold on, the answer is, yeah, no, he's happy, but there's nothing on the table.
Yeah, that's what I
there
read
was a
out of that.
discussion between his management and Fremantle. Fremantle, we got a lot going on. We
'Cause
got too much going
they-
on. We got
Shea
Bolton, we
Bolton-
got the Warner thing, we've got the whatever's happening with Pickett. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Bolton's
They-
managed by the same fella now, isn't he?
Bolton and Tim Kelly have the same manager.
Yes. So they're talking already.
Yes.
Is Tim Kelly a thing? Still in the league?
I think in the right team he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just never
think
hear
if-
him spoken about.
I think if you're in the
Do you-
bottom,
do you
because
re- do you
because they're a
really?
bottom 4 side, and
Yeah.
it won their BNF last year.
And
they won 2
that's the
games
problem.
or
man.
something. Yeah, I know.
People
Someone's
get angry
gotta-
at him, but
someone's
he's
gotta-
delivered on what he is probably what he was going to be.
Absolutely.
But just everything fell around
But
around
I
him.
mean now they're not falling out of the trees to.
No, I think he's the piece where if you get him and you've already got a good team,
He
he's a
should have
great
been. He
piece.
should have been the one that West Coast should have tried to trade 2 years ago
Yeah.
when the wheels were falling off left,
Yeah.
right, and centre.
he had
'cause
currency.
Anyway, bottom line is I think he'll be at West Coast. It's just a matter of
They-
whether
they
they,
won't-
can
they
organise
won't
a deal.
re-sign.
If it gets
sometimes
to
you need to prompt them back to the table with
correct
something.
if it gets to the middle point of next year and there's no new deal, things will escalate.
where would he be a good fit?
There's a couple of clubs who have already. I can't mention them, but there are clubs that have.
Make the noises. Make
Geelong.
their logo
Geelong.
noises.
Well, at that point, I might as well say. it.
Well, no, but you're not saying it.
No, you're not getting this out of me. What's that?
It's
That was a
Bomber.
jet.
A bomber jet.
Giants?
What's that? A line?
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
Bing, 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 bing,
All
bing.
right, blow
What
this
is-
on.
what is
Let's
that?
get on to
That's
this.
a kangaroo.
Bing, bing, bing.
That's Crazy Frog.
Bing, 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 bing.
Just make the noise.
Ding, ding,
Quick, he's going to make one noise
It's the
for
crazy.
us.
It's the Crazy Frogs.
He's going
It's
to
the
make
crazy
one.
Ding, 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 ding. Sydney. So the Sydney Swans, there doesn't look like there's a lot happening here. Luke Parker is going. Sam Frost, there's some talk that he might go there. They
Sam
need another
Frost?
key defender. Yeah.
Is he
Well,
leaving the Hawks? Well,
We don't want
key defenders.
I'd rather Frost at full back.
Do you have a say? If you were you,
then Tom Barris.
No, look, just I want Frost in there.
Yeah, well,
he doesn't need to touch the
I mean,
feet.
would you write him a
This
letter
is
and
just-
ask or tell him who to give the number to?
It's just been
Sam Frost
reported.
left.
Oh yeah, actually, I did present him his jumper.
Yeah, just write him a letter.
Give
This
it
is what
to
I think.
Josh Battle, would you? Or would you pick one of the younger guys?
Oh no, you know who needs a number upgrade? The Wiz.
Oh, no. What's his number?
Nah, the Wiz is good, mate.
What's his number?
What is
What's
his
the, what's
number?
the Wiz running around in?
It's in the 30. It's not like
Yeah,
a
but
30.
he'll be
it's
the
a high
type
one,
of player
isn't it?
that makes that
34?
number. His
Yeah,
own.
30,
Yeah, that's
well,
right.
no. He'll
34 is a
change.
decent
He'll
number.
change. He'll change.
Give him
So
the
I
eight.
was in 32 when I first went to Hawthorn,
Imagine if
and
they
they
gave-
made me change.
Imagine if they gave Watson the 8.
Oh, here we go.
They made me change from 32, which was Lee Matthews
Matthews?
started in,
Look, we
Campbell
thought you were
Brown
gonna be-
started in.
They got you out of it.
Ben Dixon. No, they said I had to go down.
Yep.
And I love 32. I was next to Stewie Jew, who
Yeah.
I've grown well with.
Yep.
Let me say, sitting next to Crawford wasn't the end of the world either. He's a
No,
bloody
he's-
superstar. But
Couple of good spots.
Who's the
32
other?
was
O'Brien,
sick.
Michael. What was his name?
Osborne.
Michael Osborne.
Yeah,
Michael
funny
Osborne.
bugger.
So, Sydney, if they go in with the same team next year and add Callum Mills, are you feeling good about them?
No, look, their defence, when you look at it now, what is their defence? What are their key defenders?
McCartan, Melican.
You feeling good about that?
I'm not feeling good about either end.
Nah, their two ends are.
Yeah, the midfield's just
they're
so
aligned.
good.
It's easy to be really critical of the team that just got pantsed in a grand
correct.
final. They're still going to be a really good team, but the confidence of it, it's dwindling.
I think they're in the pack.
Of course they're in the pack.
No, they're in
finished
the
top
top
four.
6 pack.
Of course they're in the pack.
Yeah, top 6 pack, and that's it.
They're on the clock with Buller. They're on the clock with the Chad. This time next year, it's a different conversation.
Well, just like when they sign these players up to long terms, they always predict the best case situation, best case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Now they've got Amadi and McDonald tied up to the. Are they going to get them to the promised land? And now they're signed up.
I had a question about Brodie Grundy. Is Collingwood and Melbourne both paying part of his salary now?
I'm not sure. You'd have
Because
to
he's
ask.
still on the same deal,
You'd have
isn't
to
it?
ask them, Nicholas. Okay, last club, the Western Bulldogs. Okay, so they're into O'Halloran. They're into Peatling. I'm not sure if they're going to get either of those guys. I think O'Halloran's more likely. McRae is going to go. Caleb Daniel will probably go. And Bailey Smith will go. Rory Lobb looks like he's going to stay. So they're pretty low-key, the doggies.
Tough for the Dogs. People were picking them to win the flag this year when they got a bit of momentum.
Yeah.
But they've still got a really young talent down the bottom. So do you add more kids? Or do you go, well,
Just go.
shit,
The
we
last
back
couple of
these
years,
kids
they've
to
just
fly.
added guys around the fringe, haven't they? I reckon that seems to have been their focus the last few years. Just let's add like role players around.
Yeah.
They seem to want to retool those, like the Caleb Daniel and stuff.
Yeah,
Those
they got like
spots.
Lockie Bramble
let's get
came
a
in
bit
last
better,
year, played a lot
Yeah.
of footy. Like they seem to be going in that space.
I know they've
That's-
done it quite a bit with like a Taylor DeRay who's been
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
serviceable
They've had
there.
some success with it. Yeah.
yeah.
So like O'Halloran comes in.
But what do they do?
Is he in their best team?
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you put
They
him on?
need those pressure players.
Put him on a wing, a defensive.
I think
winger or something?
half forward pressure.
Half forward, and then Peatling obviously is in their best team. But
Yeah.
as we think, he'll probably stay at the Giants.
Yeah.
The Giants. You're probably not going to let him go.
I think the Giants would happily pay a little bit extra to keep
Yeah.
him.
So there's not much going on there.
But geez, we're high on Peatling for 5 good games at the back end of the season.
I was saying this to
It's a
someone
time of
yesterday.
year.
This
Yeah.
is the best time ever to be James Peatling.
Yeah.
He has turned into Bontempelli. In every 6 clubs wanted him.
Well, it doesn't seem to matter actually this time of year. You just get 850,000.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter who
everybody-
you are.
She played at the wrong time.
Well,
played
it
it.
wouldn't have worried me. But
Jesus.
Wouldn't have worried you. 850 what?
Are we going to bullet these
No,
guys?
no.
Wouldn't
Oh,
touch
let's
the
see what-
sides on the
They don't have any. They don't have any picks. 32 and 44.
Yeah, bullet
so
'em.
they're not going to be much of a player.
Who's that?
Bulldogs.
Oh,
We've
yeah,
done a
yeah.
minute 44.
yeah, they can have it. That'll do.
Is that the lot?
Yeah, wrap us up.
Right done. This has been the Hardball Gets AFL show. We'll have one more episode this week with the mailbag, and then we're doing one next week, aren't we? I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah, and then we'll be back next week. All right. See you next time.